Good afternoon. My name is Julia Lawrence. I've done this video approximately 20 times already. Redone it and redone it because I can't seem to get it correct. So this time I'm just going to go for it and let's hope it goes well. I am 33 years old. I've been married for 8 years and I have 2 children, ages 4 and 6. We live in Anchorage, Alaska. We just moved here last year from Oklahoma City. We were stationed in Oklahoma City for 9 whole years before we finally got orders up here to the final frontier. The last frontier? Final frontier? I don't know. Whichever one it is. It's been pretty nice, except for it's really cold and I don't really appreciate that. I have a few hobbies. None of them include cold weather hobbies like skiing or anything like that, so that kind of stinks. But they do include working on my car. I also do some woodworking on occasion. Just stuff that I enjoy, nothing that unfortunately makes me any money. I have a 65 Mustang that gets to live in Missouri because it wouldn't make the trip up here to Anchorage, so I don't get to work on that either. But I also run the coffee shop at our church. I go to a church called Anchorage City Church, and we have a coffee shop that we run on Sundays, and I'm kind of in charge of doing the scheduling and inventory and such. I also occasionally volunteer at the Hope Center, which is our local soup kitchen. We have a very large homeless population up here, and so every little bit helps. My major is in applied science with an emphasis in business administration. I'm not really sure what I want to be when I grow up, so I just decided to go with this major. It's something that'll kind of get me started and I can move on to other majors if I decide to make a change further on in. I have had a lot of jobs throughout my life. I've done everything from working fast food to working at a coffee shop. I worked at Chili's. I did data entry for a convenience store. Some of you down in Plainview might recognize, but I worked for Allsups for about 3 years and in their data entry center in Clovis, New Mexico, which is where I graduated high school. When I joined the Air Force, I actually made my decision on what job I was going to pick by any job that couldn't go to Cannon Air Force Base. So I was not very happy living there and I didn't want to return. I joined the Air Force, as I said, and I became an Airborne Mission Systems Specialist, and through that I moved to Tinker Air Force Base and started work on AWACS. I was a communications systems operator, so I'm used to having to talk and try not to make mistakes. I'm not very good at it. I have to write everything down to make sure that I don't forget what I'm trying to say. But all in all, I don't get too nervous when I'm in front of people. Being on the video is a little bit different because it's like I get to go back and look through it. At least if you make a mistake while you're making a speech in front of a bunch of people, you don't have that opportunity. You just have to kind of roll through it. So with that, I took that experience and I started doing MC work through our squadron. I was kind of the go-to airman when it came to doing retirement ceremonies and commander's calls and those sort of things. And I even took a couple Toastmaster classes, which I really enjoyed. I still get kind of nervous, but that's why I'm here. I mean, actually, the reason I'm here is because it's a requirement on my major, but I know I'm going to enjoy this class because it's going to make my speaking capabilities better. I'm excited to get to see everybody else's video. Thanks.